This is Ross Nyanga with Therapy House, here with the lovely
Nalah Love.
And we are doing a little dual kind of question, pinging back to one another.
Mm-hmm.
And so the first question here is, what has been your journey when it comes to being vulnerable?
That's a good question. My journey has been avoiding it at all costs.
Right answer.
To begin with. Yeah. Right. And then later on discovering that it's probably not the best approach to things. But I think there's also like a lack of, there's a lack of safe spaces to feel like you can be vulnerable in. So kind of like masking vulnerability with a lot of seeming like I'm okay, seeming like I am at peace, seeming like nothing bothers me, but all this inner turmoil going on and not having an outlet for it. So I guess my thing that I turned to actually started when I was 7 was journaling. First it was like a diary, so it'd be like, "Dear diary, this bitch pissed me off so much today." So it was like that was my space, and then I began to like have more friends who would have like more open conversations in life. And I feel like that was later on, because a lot of the times like going through school and then even through college, it was like, let's just get through this and like party, get good grades and try to mask everything, because we're taught to like mask a lot of, when we feel vulnerable or like insecure, just hide it. Don't like talk about it, because then it'll just highlight it and then you'll seem like a weirdo for whatever vulnerability or insecurities you have. So actually like speaking to people and seeing people who like call themselves out and they'll be like, "Oh, okay, well, I wasn't going to say anything, but since you brought it up and you want to talk about it, like I'll share mine too." And just finding safe spaces like that began to like open up my vulnerability. And then I think just 2020 was the year that everything kind of blew up, and it was like, okay, if you're going to continue to hide from being vulnerable, your life is going to continue to take this path and take shape in a way that you're not going to recognize anymore. And you're going to have to continue this charade of pretending that everything is okay.
Ooh, wow. Yeah. Wow. It's so interesting. I feel like many times, and I'll get into my own story in a little bit, but it seems like people can live out whole relationships in that charade of the idea of what they're supposed to present, like that everything is okay, everything's fine, I'm good, I've got it, And speaking as a Black man, I feel like that's the fundamental. Let no one see you sweat. Don't reveal any of your weaknesses. You got it. Be strong. All these different things, don't cry. Don't let them see you weak, because if you're vulnerable, that's when they're going to come for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes
it feels like a Black narrative, like for Black women too. It's like we can't show that things hurt us or we feel a certain way about things. We just have to take it in stride and keep going.
Yeah. Just thinking about my own journey, I felt like I learned that more indirectly with no one being there. Like going through hardships in life and looking around and being like, anybody, somebody, anybody, anybody care? No? Okay. No one's there. And then looking at myself and just repeating that narrative to myself that no one cares.
Yeah.
No one's here. No one's coming.
Yeah. I feel that too. I feel like I internalized that, like the no one caring or like being around, kind of experienced that too. And I was like, okay, let me internalize that as like, it doesn't really matter. It's not that important.
Yeah.
And then just got used to like just shoving it down, putting a smile on, being like, no, it's great.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
The world doesn't stop. It's not waiting for you. Right. So you got to keep going, keep pushing.
But then things took a turn. Well, in 2020, I was doing all the personal development things and like just got all the courses, all the programs, like signed up.
Became one of those people with all the self-help books and all the. Okay.
I have literally a suitcase full of self-development books. Okay. I like to call them self-development books. All right. But yeah, it's at home in Brooklyn under my bed. And I started to get into it so much so when like everything was being revealed and I was learning so much about myself that I couldn't, like, when you learn these things, you can't unlearn them. And then this is how you have to live your life.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started finding myself, friendships started falling out and falling apart. And I was like, oh, okay, now I can only show up in spaces where people are allowing themselves to be vulnerable. And I wasn't able to like have surface level connections with people.
Yeah.
I'd be like, if you're not going to get vulnerable, pretty much like within the first 10 minutes, I'm out. And I got into like that space. I mean, I kind of like, you know, allow people to let them decide how they want to proceed within the relationship and how we're interacting with each other. But I think for me, in friendships, like being able to be vulnerable and have that space that I feel like I never had growing up is really important to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like something that was really unique was recognizing that I had built a world for myself that was shaped around not being vulnerable, a safe space, or not be a space that was responsive to my actual needs. And when I had to sit with that world was causing me pain, I had to ask myself if I wanted to continue to build that world.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that coming to that recognition forced me into a space of taking ownership over the world that I build for myself, the relationships that I place myself in. And so not being vulnerable just reminds me that you're building a fake world, that you're building a world that has nothing to do with who you actually are. And if you want to put someone else as the more important individual, I'm also guaranteeing that they don't even have a chance to be responsive to me either.
Right.
Who's to say that even me being vulnerable and open isn't actually something that they need as well? Right. And so it was like, how long do I want to assume nobody wants to accept me? And so then try to be who I think they want me to be. Like, how long am I going to keep playing this game? You know, and so it became an internal switch that I had to flip and say, no, I choose to believe that people can do and will accept me. And if they don't, then that's fine. It just reinforces the people that I do know who do that, you know. And so let's move on to the second part of our questions for time's sake.
Okay, yeah.
What is the story you tell yourself about being vulnerable independently and while in a relationship?
I think you should start this one off since I started off the first one.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see.
Can you repeat the question one more time?
Yes. What is the story you tell yourself about being vulnerable independently and while in a relationship? So I guess to kick it off, one of my beliefs is that we are all in a polyamorous relationship. We're all in multiple relationships at once. And our first relationship starts with ourselves. And the ones that we create outside of ourselves are a reflection of the one that we have with ourselves. And so as much as it might seem separated, it's also one and the same. If I'm not vulnerable with me, I can't be vulnerable with someone else. Right. And so if I find myself not showing up in vulnerability in a relationship, it's a reminder to ask myself, am I being vulnerable with me? Did I ask myself how I really feel? Am I having that conversation internally? And if I'm not having that, then I can't expect it to show up here, you know, in the relationship. Even further, I can't expect my partner to respond to me with care and the love that I'm needing. And I'm not even doing that.
Yeah.
You know, if I don't even listen to me, how can I fault? You know? So.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel like, yeah, it's a good place to start with yourself. Be able to be vulnerable with yourself. And a lot of the time, like growing up, it was just like in adulthood, it was a lot of like denial that I was in about certain things. So I wasn't able to be open and like vulnerable. And I think a huge part of being vulnerable is being accepting. And for me, it's working on accepting different parts of me. As much as I want to push this part away and say that I don't need her or this isn't me or I just want to get rid of this and let it go, I have to accept it first. I have to accept it and be like, okay, this is a part of me And where did this part of me come from? Like, why did she form?
Yeah.
Is she trying to protect me from something or someone or something that happened in the past? And first accept it so it can open up more, and then kind of be like, oh, okay, now I can understand it. And then now I can actually love that part. And then that part is like, that's all I wanted. And then she backs down and I'm like, oh, okay. So I just need to like accept parts of me, like in a way that's open and loving, to be able to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
And then once I can do that, then I can see when different parts of people who I'm in relationships with show up. And then I'm like, okay, I can accept different parts of them. Like, here they might be joking, here they might be silly, here they might be really serious. And I accept them as a full package because I can accept me as a full package and all parts of me.
Wow. I love that. I love that. Yeah. If you can't accept the different parts of yourself, how do you recognize and accept the different parts of someone else? I love that.
Yeah.
Nuggets. Like
snaps. Yes.
Snaps.
That's the work right there.
That's the work.
Y'all have your homework. That's it right there.
Yeah.
Just reflect on that.
And there's so many layers of it that we could probably go to. But yeah, has there been any significant difference in how you've shown up in vulnerability within relationship versus with yourself? Have you found anything?
I tend to be hard on myself, and then I project that as like expecting other people to just be immediately vulnerable, but then I'm not immediately vulnerable. So I'm just like, just tell me what's up. And I haven't said that I have a problem in the first place. So it's like noticing that disparity that comes up for me.
That's what's up. Yeah. Similarly, I'm the king of wanting to know, hey, what's going on? Hey, communicate. And then with myself, I'm like, stuck, frozen. What am I? Something's going on, glitch, And then there's a process from there. Yeah.
It's a good question though.
Yeah. So, spoiler alert, some of you may not know, the beautiful Miss Nalah Love and I are in a relationship. So we never struggle with vulnerability.
Ever.
Obviously.
Nope, not our thing.
We get it right every time.
We're great.
Communication skills at 10. Perfection. Yes.
But in reality.
In reality, it's so hard. Because you're looking across from somebody who can call you out on things as much as you can call them out. And so it's almost like you're just looking at each other like, I don't feel like it right now,
Like, we know we can do the work.
I don't want to do the work.
Like, all the stuff we talked about and brought up, about being in a relationship was secretly, issues that we struggle with within our relationship. So it was like,
was it last night?
Last night, this morning, all of it was like, I can feel this way. I can sense that I'm feeling this way, but I don't want to bring it up. I need you to bring it up. And, there's something off, but I want you to be vulnerable first.
Yeah.
So then I can step in. Yeah.
Yeah. I so appreciate you for being vulnerable. Now I can go ahead and, and it's always like pride that kicks your ass, because there's a party that knows, and then there's the other part that goes, I don't want to, it was their fault. They should have. It's like, okay, you've acknowledged that. Now, would you like to continue to go forward with being prideful? How does that play out in your life, Ross? Does that?
How does it play out, Ross?
It's like, shut the fuck up. But no. I mean, I think the progress is in the process, right? The working it out and having to rewire my brain to be okay with feeling pride, being okay with feeling frustrated and disappointed, and at the same time choosing to be vulnerable. I think that is something that is a part of rewiring how I manage relationships. And so, I mean, what am I going to do? Go back to not being vulnerable?
Keep building that fake life.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. No one can see me. Right?
Let me know how that works out for you.
No one's there. No one cares. All right.
Yeah. You don't want that.
It starts with me,
Yeah. For me, it's feeling, like allowing myself to feel how I feel and not continue to like suppress it and push it down and deny it. And then those parts of me like just come up more and more and more, like in my actions and how I act towards you, and like ignore you or get mad at you for like the tiniest little things or micromanage. And so don't give me that look.
No, I was actually, whoa, the projection. No, I was literally about to say, which led me to another question of, what does it mean to you to see your partner trying? Because I was going to say, when I see you try, it rewrites a narrative of how someone can show up for me. And it's really meaningful to see you, okay, I don't want to, okay, and then, okay, I hear you, okay, I can, take ownership, or I can do this, or I can, and like seeing you process and move through and manage the feelings and emotions, it's very endearing and heartwarming, inspiring, encouraging me to show up that much more, and so I was like curious, like, what does it do for you? Because I can also imagine like people are in relationships, right? And they might be listening to this and they're just like, I don't want to be the first one. I don't want to be the first one, or also you could be the catalyst for changing this experience in your relationship. But please.
No, it does feel good, because on what I was saying about allowing myself to feel, as you're feeling these things, you also have to be an advocate for these parts. So you need to be able to speak up and say like, hey, I'm feeling this. Part of me is feeling this. This part of me is feeling that. And then allowing that person to come in and kind of help you with it, especially if it's something that has to do with both of us being in this together, and the way that I advocate, accept and acknowledge my parts is going to be the way that I advocate for them to you. And then also accept and acknowledge your parts. And admire the way that you advocate for yourself as well. Sometimes I feel like what I admire with you is that, the pride does get in the way, and you're like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to be in that, especially because you're in these spaces, and it's a lot of energy to a lot of energy to fight through the narratives and fight through the rewiring and undoing, and then to be like, okay, let me open up and share. And for you, like, a huge gesture that I saw was like bringing me the flowers this morning. And I was like, okay, the pride has subsided. He's coming back out of it. Like, maybe we can like have those talks and be open. And I want to also acknowledge like having a sacred pause, like things build up so much, and like we don't have to get to it immediately. Like, you can pause, you can take a second, you can think, you can reflect. And I think that's something that like we can work on, to take a beat and breathe and maybe separate, take a walk separately and come back together and be like, okay, this is what I reflected on. Because I feel like for us, we're so self-aware that we're like, let's get to it now. And then we're both like, we don't want to. So taking that pause.
And I think sometimes there's more room to take pause than we often realize. Because sometimes we also, there's still the part of us that wants to be together and wants to feel good in this, and so we're like, no, let's, you fix you stuff so we can feel better.
Bad, we're like, when it feels bad, we're like, oh, we have to fix it immediately.
And then I remind myself, like, it's 10 o'clock. It's probably not the best time to do all your processing and inner work, and it's like, it's okay. You can take time. And then as it comes back, embrace it. Coming back, that energy to be able to, okay, breathe, get into your body, do what you know to do, trust your process, and then show up, and hopefully you enjoy the flowers,
Yeah. Sure do.
Yeah.
But thank you for opening up and having this conversation with me. We have a lot of these conversations, but I feel like it's nice to be able to share it with others, and hopefully, some things resonate and stick and can help you through, just accepting and being with yourself, and accepting and being with others in relationships, even if it's friendships. So, thank you for this space.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you to Therapy House.
Shout out Therapy House.
Shout out Therapy House.
Get your therapy on.
Yes. Great resource for learning. Please send clients there who they don't seem to be listening to you, and you're just like, oh, you know what? I seen this podcast. Just listen to it, you know. Check this out real quick, you know. I queued it up for you.